Canada is in a silent depression as youth unemployment absolutely skyrockets, and you are just seeing these trends worsen and worsen. And the stories that you are hearing from people now are just really sad, unfortunately. And we're going to get into some of these stories and what's going on there.
Can we just talk about how absolutely ridiculous the job market is at the minute? I am in Toronto and it has been absolutely horrific. Like, I have never struggled this much to get a job in my life.
So Better Dwelling spells it out as it is here, which is Canadian unemployment soars, driven by immigration more than tariffs. This is something we know and we've been talking about on this channel for a long time, is the fact that it's not really tariffs. And I want to show you this. To be blunt, this means the country added one job for every 4 workers in the month, a dangerously imbalanced ratio. In recent months, unemployment had been rising briskly, but the country was just adding workers faster than it could create jobs. Job growth has since flatlined and the population continues to outpace it, despite a mild attempt at that, at throttling immigration. And what they're talking about here is that the unemployment rate has been steadily rising. Just remember, guys, this is what I want to show you. Tariffs started here, January 2025. And as you can see, yeah, the unemployment rate has gone up, but look at what it did before that. So the mainstream media, the lamestream media, the legacy media, whatever you want to call it, is lying to you when they say that it's all about the tariffs. But the fact is, the stories that you're hearing, and even now, the Economic Times of India, of all places, is covering what's going on in Canada, which is the fact that unemployment is absolutely skyrocketing. And right here, they say it, Canada job crisis. Canada's unemployment rate hits 9-year high as inflation rises, factory losses, and youth struggle in the toughest market since 2016. And 2016-2015 was nearly a recession. It was a recession in Alberta in particular, but it was nearly a recession for the whole entire country. But of course, that recession didn't actually materialize, at least in the data. And then Shazzy is now posting a Canadian with a PhD in machine learning, 16 months of tech internship, applied to 2,800 jobs, got 11 interviews, 0 offers, even rejected by McDonald's and Subway. This isn't a labor market, it's a graveyard of ambition. It's absolutely insane when you figure out what is going on here. And this is posted in the Reddit Vancouver Jobs, but it just goes to show it's happening across the country. Economic Woes posted this, and you can just basically see that there are hundreds of people lining up to another job fair lineup in Vancouver, Canada. So you're just seeing this repeat. It doesn't matter where it is, but you're just seeing it repeat across the country. And then this is absolutely insane. You've got a 30% loss in the housing market, which is actually based on the 2017 price. So think about that. From 2017 to 2025, they're down minus 30%. And you've just got to add in inflation to the mix there since 2017. And these people are being absolutely destroyed. It's no wonder that you are seeing the burn down houses, because yeah, that's what's happening in these new developments, because people don't want to complete on the homes. 2 people, they turn up, they're organized, they've got the gasoline, and why would they want to burn them down? You've just got to ask that question. I mean, that is just how bad it's getting. People don't realize it. And then Bell is offshoring more and more jobs, because basically, why not? In the environment that Canada is in right now, why is it going to pay an entry-level worker to sit at home more money when they can just pay somebody in India or Bangladesh or Costa Rica or wherever it is? They're just going to do that. They're going to do the cheaper option. So more and more people are basically being cut. More and more jobs are going. And you're going to see this coupled with AI. It's getting way worse. So 2 years of searching. One's a high school student. The other has a degree in experience, but they both can't get hired. The Bank of Canada swears the labor market is strong. Welcome to the Canadian job market, where the stats are fake, the hope is gone, and the doors stay closed. Can't seem to get hired. Any advice? This is posted on Toronto Jobs, follows a similar theme to the Vancouver Jobs one, that they're just applying for lots of jobs and not basically getting anywhere. Oshawa, I can't find a job and it sucks. I've been looking for a job in Durham for like 2 years and can't seem to find one. I honestly don't know what to do. I just graduated from university and have previous experience, and you just have to look at the youth unemployment rate. It's around 14.2%, but we know in reality it's probably something like 20%, way higher than that. So more and more people, especially graduates, we know from the last job report, are being absolutely destroyed. They cannot find a job. They can't even make it out there anymore, and that's why you're seeing more crime, you're seeing more people on the streets, and you're basically just seeing a silent depression that people won't realize until actually they lose the job themselves. So continuing on here, urgent cry for work. A worker in Surrey is begging for any job, dishwashing, warehouse, cleaning, just to survive. 9 years of experience, no car, no options, 1 month to make rent. This is what a collapsing economy looks like. And he's not wrong. And then in Vancouver jobs, again, I need a job ASAP, willing to do anything. I'm urgently looking for any type of work in the Surrey, Vancouver area. I'm ready to start immediately and I'm open to absolutely anything: retail, labor, deliveries, cleaning, warehouse moving, dishwashing, you name it. The higher the starting pay, the better. But at this point, I just need something to get back on my feet. 9 years of retail / customer service experience. And I mean, again, this just shows what a dire situation the Canadian economy is. And you've got to ask, why aren't there all these entry-level jobs? Because, you know, you're told by the central planners that the economy is actually resilient.
The impact of tariffs and uncertainty has largely affected what I would call prospective indicators. So these would be things like financial markets that look forward.
Yeah, why are restaurants not hiring? Because it's booming. People are out there. I mean, there's still those people out there spending money on the credit card, and we see that in the stats from Equifax, which we covered a few weeks ago. But you're just seeing essentially the Canadian economy that is collapsing right in front of people's eyes. And all these job stories are really sad. It is really sad that people can't get a job anymore in Canada, and it's really sad that the economy got to this point. And if you want what I think about the India Economic Times reporting on this, I think quite frankly it's another sign, because you know, a lot of Canada's immigrants are coming from India, rightly or wrongly, and with these type of headlines you're going to be seeing the more middle class Indian families that can afford to send their kids to school in Canada say, hold on, maybe Canada isn't that place that we want to send them. And you will eventually see that. It's not going to continue forever. You're going to see it collapse from one side or another, whether it's the federal government clamping down on it, or it's just people are realizing how bad the Canadian economy is and they're just not moving there anymore, because quite frankly, it's insane. And when you think about how many of these people, they end up at food banks, they end up in just desperate situations, it just goes to show how bad it is. I mean, you've got one job for every 4 workers. That is a disastrous ratio, and that is exactly what a silent depression looks like. And it is really no wonder that you are seeing the housing market, people taking staggering losses in these bubbles that absolutely were ripping in 2021, but are now absolutely tanking. And it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time until these other places get affected by these same market forces that are operating, because the labor market, the fact unemployment is this high, and we know these stats, they are fake as anything, but they give us an idea of the trend. So if they're saying unemployment is at 7%, it's likely north of 14, 15%, which is really depressionary level stuff. So you've got to realize that it's really bad out there. And yeah, crime is going to be rising. You really have to prepare for that right now. And I would say, And I would say even if you're preparing for it right now, it's kind of too late, but better now than never is the fact that crime, home invasions, they're skyrocketing in every city across Canada. So just take extra precautions because, yeah, it's not going to be getting any better when you've got statistics like this that are happening in Canada. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd highly recommend that you check out that video there. And then if you're looking for a VPN and also want to help out the channel as well, get the VPN that I use, ExpressVPN, link in the description below, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.